PMAG Movies back. We have yet another sale haul, this time from the recent Powerhouse Films Indicator sale. They have these about, I believe, twice a year, and they usually have like these four movies for £20 for their editions that are considered just regular special editions, not limited editions, but they have, a decent amount of movies, and for that price it ends up being really, really good. And then they have their limited editions for various prices. So when I first looked at this sale, I believe it was about £200 gets you free shipping, UK pounds. So that ended up being like $250 to $260, I believe. And I was like, there's just not enough that I want. So I passed at first, and then it was like the night before it was gonna end. It was gonna end like that the next morning, and I decided to go ahead and place an order. I thought I was able to get enough quality in there. Getting some stuff that I was like, I don't know if I need this. Getting some more like classic kind of movies, but also a few, that were at the top, and then a few that got me over the edge to the 250 something, whatever. But if you don't get free shipping, the shipping expense is pretty considerable. It kind of kills the deal. So they also have both their UK and their US releases in this sale. So I would go with the US releases. I don't know that there's big difference. I think with the pictures they look the same, but generally on the UK stuff you get the little on the artwork you get the little ratings logo in the UK. So this is one order, but they did it in two packages. So one's pretty significant, and then there's another one that's a little bit smaller. Now, the interesting thing is with that, I just placed an 88 Films order of around the same amount of items. There were some box sets in here, so a little bit more from Indicator, but 88 Films tried to put it all in one box, and there was really no padding on the outside. There was no protection. It feels to me like there's going to be quite a bit of padding and protection around these ones. So let's take a look. We'll open the small box first. As far as the shipping time, I think they shipped it probably, I'm thinking it took about a week after I placed the order, maybe. But I also placed it towards the end of the sale. So they were, they had a lot of orders at that point. If I placed an order the first day, I think it would have went out quicker. I kind of waited until, there was a lot of orders out there. So some of these are ones I definitely wanted, and then, like I said, some of them were, padding the classic movie collection. I could use some more, like, classic kind of stuff. So you can see there's a lot of bubbles and stuff, and they leave some space on the side, which is good. And they have some bubbles on the side there. Pretty impressive. Okay, it looks like they got like this little pamphlet. They have really nice editions of these Gene Rollin movies. So let's take a look at what we got here. I did get a George Romero recent release. This is one that was only a UK. So I wonder if a US company will be releasing this one. It is Bruiser here. And you got the nice edition. You don't have a plastic case. They don't do like a plastic case with these, but they do have like a nice booklet, and then the movies in like a cardboard sleeve. I did go with the Blu-ray of the 4K version here, or the 4K restoration. I went with the Blu-ray rather than the 4K. The 4K was $3 more. I was getting all like the Gene Rollin ones like this in Blu-ray. After thinking about it, I may have gotten the 4K of this if I had to place the order today, because some of the reason I get the Blu-ray is because of the ease of getting a Blu-ray player versus a 4K player in the future. I doubt that the picture quality is going to be that much difference. But as far as region free versus a 4K player, it's going to be about the same. But I saved $3. I don't know that it would have been a difference to me, but I do want to get all the Romero movies. So I did snag this. Apparently this is a French-Canadian, France/Canada release. It is from 2000. It's 100 minutes. I did get number 85 out of 2000 there. So if you care about that sort of thing. Then I got another limited edition. So these, now this is one I kind of went all in on. I did go in a little bit all in on the Santo movies. Not necessarily something I was super interested in, but I decided, what the heck, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. I got to get to that 250. These are some nice editions. I mean, this is a nice one, same as the Bruiser one there. So I think this movie only has one movie, but there's like different editions of it. It has a 78-minute version and an 84-minute version. Apparently they made 8,000 of these. And this is region free. So this was also, I think this one is probably the US version that I bought because they had the option. So you can see like the UK ones probably all have that sort of thing on them, whereas the US one does not. So I grabbed all the US ones that I could. So I believe this was, so Bruiser was 16. I think this Santo was 16. Now, this is one of the ones that I wanted the most. One of the Jean Rollin movies from them that I didn't have yet. It is the Demoniacs. And I'm not sure if I have like the Kino version of this, because Kino put out like all these too. I may or may not have it, but I definitely wanted this nicer edition. Looks like this is limited to 4,000. Right there. I got a lot of these during Target buy two get one sales. This either wasn't part of one or it wasn't a very good price in one. A little risque on the top, but looks like she's covered there. Celebrities wear that kind of shirt out in public, don't they? Now this is one I do already have, unless I sold my copy. I can't remember. But it was like an early Blu-ray, and I figured the Indicator was a better edition of it for only like $5. So I did go ahead and get Jagged Edge, starring Jeff Bridges and Glenn Close. I don't remember loving this movie per se, but I watched it so long ago. I don't remember anything of it, so I could watch it now pretty much for the first time. Let me move stuff out of the way here so I can stack these babies up. And then this is one of their limited editions, which was part of their 4 for $20. So these ended up being like $5.50 each for these cheap ones. We got Bette Davis and Michael Redgrave in Connecting Rooms. So I believe here in the US, Kino released this one. So this is a region B only, but I figured for that price, for the nice limited edition with the booklet, we got a 4K restoration. We got a lot of special features. That was a Beer Me. And that is the end of box one here. So we'll throw this off to the side, and then we have the remainder in box number two, baby. This is a hefty one. So we got old Bumblebee to open it up. Interesting, they put a bunch of the limited editions in that smaller box, but there are more of like the limited ones with the slip box and stuff, but I believe I got some box sets that should be in here. Some more of that type, I believe. So let's take a look. Box number two. We got it open. We got lots of bubbles. So on top, let's take a look at what we got here. I see we do have one of the UK only box sets that I got. If I can open it, they have it taped up pretty well here. So this is a box set of, it's considered Colombian Noir #6, and this is all Whistler movies. So this was limited to 6,000. I got number 3,199. Now, you see a lot of overlap between Kino Lorber and Indicator, so you wonder, I don't believe that the Whistler has a U.S. release. I believe I heard that Mill Creek released the DVD. I don't think the Blu-ray, so I'm wondering if this might be something that Kino puts out. I did pay a little bit over $40 for this, so this wasn't like dirt cheap or anything. So fairly pricey, and it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies, and it looks like it might be 4 discs. So you got like the 4 individual cases there, and like the cardboard cases, and then you have a booklet there, like a pretty significant book there. So there's that set. Then we have now this one had sold out in the US. I could have gotten both of these movies separately for, it would have been like $5.50 each, so like $11. I decided to go ahead and get for $19 the box set of Enter Santo. And like I said, it looked like this was like on Amazon. You couldn't get this anymore. It looked like it was out of print, the US one. So you do see the little label there, but this is region free. So this is a two movie set, and it looks like we got some special stuff in there. I do see that the artwork got placed too far up. You gotta love that when they put the artwork too far up and it gets all torn at the top. So that kind of sucks, but it looks like, this is a limited edition that might actually be somewhat limited there, as you can't really get the US one easily anymore. Up next, we have another box set. So they put this one by itself, it looks like. I think I've gotten all of their film noir box sets so far. Some of them have gone out of print. So this is Universal Noir Volume 2. So here's Universal Noir Volume 2. This, I believe, was a little bit less than $40. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies. Limited edition exclusive 120-page book with new essays. And this is limited to 6,000 copies. This was a UK-only release. US did not get this one. But probably, I don't know if all of these have been on Kino sets, but it's possible. Some of them, at least. So, some interesting movies. On this one, glad to be able to get it with the nice book and the nice box. Alright. So then, I think we might have quite a few cheapies left. But we do have some more of the limited editions with books also. Man, this is quite secured. You can't complain about that. Alright, so this is one of the limited editions. So this one was $11. This is a John Frankenheimer movie, and it is the U.S. version of this. So as region A and B, it is Impossible Object here on Blu-ray. And it looks like this has a couple different versions. It's from 1973. It has a 113-minute version and a 104-minute version. And it is a 4K restoration. So a little John Frankenheimer there. This was one of the ones, the regular editions, not limited edition, that was $5.50 or so. We have The Brute here. This is from 1977. Again, it looks like there's a couple different versions. One is 90 minutes, one is 89 minutes. And this is also region free. So this also had a US release. This is the UK one, however. there was a Mexican box set that sold out. I did not get it. I did end up getting the 4 movies from that for quite affordable. I got them all for like this $5.50 sale. One of them being The Curse of the Crying Woman. I was interested in some of this like kind of Spanish horror stuff or Mexican horror stuff. I don't have much of that. Now this is also region free because there was a they released it in the US and the UK, the box set originally. So this is from 1963, 80 minutes for that one. This is also from that box set. We have The Brainiac. This is from 1962. It is 77 minutes. Now, this one is not from that box set, but it is more Mexican horror, La Llorona here. This is from 1933, and it's 70 minutes. Considered to be a Mexican classic, so I was interested in that one. Passed on the limited edition. Actually, I think you might still be able to get the limited edition of this one. Looks like this is the U.S. version of that, as are these. These are all the U.S. ones without the ratings logos. All right. Down to a couple more bubbles here. And the bubbles are sticking together. Okay. All right, we have kind of the one that goes along with La Llorona to me, The Phantom of the Monastery. So we have another U.S. release, the non-limited. These are the non-limited releases without the booklet. I was fine with. I'll get them for $5.50. This one was this is a U.S. version, but it is a limited edition. So this was $11. It is The Shop at Sly Corner. This is from 1947, 91 minutes. It is a black and white movie. This one sounded pretty interesting to me. On the back, you can even see it says, first blackmail and then murder. What really happened at the shop at Sly Corner. Limited edition, 4,000 copies for the UK and US. So 4,000 copies for the limited edition of that one. And then I did get some Christopher Lee. We have Jinnah. Now, this is like a biopic sort of thing. Again, we do have the U.S. version, so no ratings logo. This was also $11. This I was a little bit back and forth on, but I read some people felt like this was a very good movie, and it sounded interesting to me. I don't really know anything about this character, this person, I guess you could say. From 1998, it says it's from Pakistan and the UK, 110 minutes. Let's see. So this is another one from the Mexican horror set. Black Pit of Dr. M here on Blu-ray. This one is 1959, 82 minutes. And then we have a limited edition. This one looked pretty interesting. This did not have a UK or a US release. This is a UK only, so it's region B, quite possibly. It is The Whole Truth here. And on the back it says movie star killed on the Riviera. This one sounded quite interesting. It is from 1958. It's 84 minutes. So one that I didn't know anything about, but sounded pretty good, so I snagged it. And we are down to our last one here. I think these are all 550 editions. It feels pretty light. So let's take a look at what we've got going on here. Definitely got some older movies in this haul, including The Reckless Moment here. This is a region-free one. This is one that I wasn't interested in before, but after I read about it a little bit, I was intrigued by the synopsis of it. And it is considered a very good movie. It is from 1949, 82 minutes. On the back it says, a wild web of violence drew them irresistibly towards one another. We got James Mason and Joan Bennett in The Reckless Moment. This is another one that is from the 550 batch. It looks like this one was, this one is not region free. It looks like this was a UK only. It is the Criminal Code. I think this might be one that that Kino possibly put out in the US, but Kino, you're looking at probably closer to $10. From Indicator, I could get it for $5.50, so I went ahead and got that. And then we have Eve here. So this is another one. I believe this was one that maybe sold out during the last sale, the limited edition. So I got the regular edition for $5.50 here. This is one there. I don't know why they have such trouble putting the artwork in there correctly. We're down to 2 left. We have Carol Lombard in 20th Century. So this is one, again, had a limited edition. The limited edition sold out. It is from 1934. It's 91 minutes. Again, read good things about this movie. Good to have some more classic movies in the collection. We do have a 4K restoration. I don't believe that this has a US release yet. And then, finally, we have the final movie of that Mexican box set. The Witch's Mirror here on Blu-ray. This one is 76 minutes from 1962. So, I mean, that Mexican set obviously sold well. I see the movies are pretty short, but sometimes, you know, short, kind of to the point, tight story, they can be very solid. So glad to be able to get all those for such a good price. I do think you can get those pretty affordably here, like less than $10, but I don't think you're going to get them for, you know, $5.50 or whatever I paid. It might have been a little less or a little bit more than $5.50. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, that's the haul. It is a big one. You definitely, with anything like this, you want to go through and make sure that you got all the items you were supposed to get. I think it's only happened once with Indicator, once with Vinegar Syndrome, where they said they sent me a movie and it wasn't included. So you definitely want to double check on those things. But let me know your thoughts on my haul here. Did you place an Indicator sale haul? What did you snag? What do you think about my snags here? And we'll see you next time on PMAC Movies, baby.